Presley Gerber, the 26-year-old son of supermodel Cindy Crawford and entrepreneur Rande Gerber, has emerged as a poignant voice in the mental health conversation, sharing raw details of his struggles in a way that's both vulnerable and empowering. In a heartfelt disclosure, he outlined the cocktail of medications that anchor his daily routine: Valium for steadying the nerves, buprenorphine for managing deeper pains tied to past dependencies, and Xanax as a lifeline during the fiercest panic attacks. These aren't abstract terms to him. They're lifelines in a battle that's raged quietly for years, marked by losses that have reshaped his world in profound, sometimes shattering ways. Gerber's candor stems from a place of hard-won perspective. "I've had a lot of loss in many different forms recently," he explained, his words carrying the gravity of someone who's tallied grief not just in deaths but in fractured dreams, strained relationships, and the slow erosion of self. It's not an excuse, he stresses, but a context, a mosaic of absences that have left him navigating uncharted emotional terrain. Growing up in the rarefied air of Hollywood, with its glittering facades and hidden hollows, amplified these challenges. The pressure to embody success, to live up to a legacy etched in magazine covers and boardroom triumphs, often felt like an invisible weight pressing down, making every misstep echo louder. His medication regimen, while stabilizing, isn't without its frustrations. Gerber has cycled through no fewer than 15 psychiatrists, each prescribing a pharmacy's worth of options. Take this if you feel like this, that is needed. It's a scattershot approach that leaves him craving structure, a clear map through the fog. "Don't give me that much leeway, I need direction," he pleads, highlighting a systemic gap in mental health care where personalization often lags behind urgency. Valium offers a baseline calm, dulling the edge of constant vigilance, while buprenorphine, typically a tool against opioid cravings, addresses a chapter of his life he'd rather not revisit but can't fully escape. Xanax, reserved for the storms, is a reluctant hero. Its pull is strong, but Gerber wields it judiciously, aware of the tightrope between relief and reliance. Parallel to this pharmacological dance is Gerber's evolving relationship with substances that once blurred the lines of escape. Alcohol, a social staple in his circles, has been largely relinquished. "It's no longer serving me," he stated flatly, recognizing how it exacerbated rather than eased his inner turmoil. Sobriety isn't a dramatic vow but a pragmatic pivot, clearing space for clarity amid the haze. This shift extends to his social sphere. Hollywood's orbit is littered with beloved figures whose energy now feels toxic. "I love them to death, but right now I try not to be around them," he shared, underscoring the courage it takes to curate one's environment. It's a selective pruning, favoring influences that uplift over those that drain, a lesson hard learned in a town built on superficial bonds. At 26, Gerber stands at a crossroads, his model physique and inherited charisma masking a deeper quest for purpose. Tattoos, once impulsive marks on his skin, now serve as deliberate anchors, reminders of resilience amid relapse. One in particular, etched during a low point, symbolizes surrender to the process, a visual mantra for days when motivation wanes. His days blend routine with recovery. Mornings might start with journaling, capturing the swirl of thoughts before they solidify into anxiety. Afternoons could involve creative pursuits, channeling energy into art or music that feels authentically his. Evenings often circle back to family, where conversations with Cindy and Rande evolve from guarded to guiding, their support a quiet constant. Gerber's advocacy isn't performative, it's propelled by isolation's sting. "I hope this reaches people so they feel like they're not alone," he said, his voice cracking with empathy. That sentiment echoes his own isolation, the sense of being the only one adrift in a sea of seemingly put-together peers. By naming his medications, his relapses, his reevaluations, he chips away at the stigma, inviting others to share their loads. It's a ripple effect. A fan messages about their first panic attack, inspired to seek help. A friend admits to similar shadows, sparking a late-night call. In 2023, Gerber first broached his depression publicly, framing mental health as a 24/7 job fraught with nuance. That job, he now elaborates, encompasses everything from hormonal imbalances to environmental triggers, demanding a no-judgment zone where struggles, be they mood disorders, chronic pain, or existential dread, find air. His parents' legacy, while a privilege, complicates this narrative. Cindy's poised elegance and Rande's business acumen set a high bar, but Gerber reframes it as a gift. Access to resources others lack, from elite therapists to wellness retreats. Yet, privilege doesn't immunize against pain, it can intensify it, breeding guilt over first-world problems. Gerber counters this by focusing outward, partnering with organizations that democratize mental health tools, affordable apps for tracking moods, community forums for peer support. His platform, amplified by social media, becomes a beacon, posts blending personal updates with resource lists, turning vulnerability into velocity. Looking ahead, Gerber envisions a life where advocacy intertwines with creativity. Perhaps a memoir chronicling his path, or a podcast dissecting the intersection of fame and fragility. For now, it's the small victories: a panic-free week, a genuine laugh with siblings Kaia and Presley. Wait, no. His sister Kaia Gerber shares similar spotlights, adding familial layers to their dialogues. Through it all, Gerber's message resonates: healing isn't linear, but it's possible. By bearing his arsenal, pills, pauses, people, he normalizes the mess, offering a hand to those still in the dark. In a culture that prizes perfection, Presley Gerber's story is a radical act of grace, proving that true strength lies in the unfiltered admission: I'm still figuring it out, and that's okay.